It's on me.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor.
I almost called it.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I do love you, but
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something to do. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
Hello. Hey, Josh, how are you doing today?
Good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and then I saw the episode, and then I got pissed off.
Why is that, Will?
Because it's one of those episodes where you just see the end results just right from the jump.
You predicted
You see the what's that?
You predicted that Juwan was going to go home.
Did I? I
I
forget if
know.
did
I
that
don't
or
know.
not.
What were you? I'm a little confused. What were you referring to when you make that statement?
I just mean that I think the Hot Grim Reaper has a point. Savannah Coronation. I don't know about Savannah Coronation like that, but like I'm just saying, if you're rooting for Hina right now, this episode was not the episode you wanted to see. And I feel like I kind of understand now how the cookie crumbles. A lot of the players that I thought had the fringe chances no longer have those fringe chances. But that said, it was still a great episode. I still had fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I thought we had some good character moments. We'll get into all of that. But Josh, did you have a good Thanksgiving? What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my new apartment that I am living in. There's a lot to be grateful for. I think I'm grateful for this upcoming season of season 50. Rick Devon's getting a second chance. I'm so happy for that. I can't wait.
He already got his second chance, dog. This is his third chance.
What?
Because he got voted out.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. That's like still one chance. Like I'm considering that whole season like one chance. You're considering that a third chance? Third?
Yeah.
This is
He got voted out. He got voted out once. He got voted out twice.
Third time out on the island.
He gets voted out one more time. He gets voted out the same amount of times as Boston Rob.
Wow. In 2 seasons.
In 2 seasons, might I add. My lord. But no, I noticed you didn't say you were thankful for the Survivor Now audience in our chatters, because I'm thankful for them.
Oh,
I don't know if you're evil or something and you hate the guests and you hate the people who come onto our show, but we're keeping that in mind. You're on thin ice right now, pal.
Oh, wow.
But no, and did you enjoy the episode as well, Josh? I feel like that's the last kind of big.
I saw some really big blunders, and I really kind of wanted to talk about that. There are some people who really missed an opportunity here, and that's how I feel. I feel like
See, I would agree, but I also feel like it's kind of a done conclusion, anyways. Especially now. Do you just want to go right into talking Juwan? We don't really have a lot of people to talk about anymore.
Let's talk
I
about
feel like
Juwan.
this has the Survivor 48 syndrome, where like half the cast right now you just know aren't winning, and so
I still think there's a chance for everybody. I think there's more of a chance in this season than there was in 48. 48 was so clear cut. I struggled. I struggled a little bit with 48 because it felt very predictable, that order.
I would agree, but I also feel like there was more power players. Right now, I'm stuck between 3. Like,
well, I know. All right, that I can contend, but I feel like, you know what? Maybe right. I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying.
I'm not saying the other people have like no shot or playing a bad game. It's just one of those things. Team Christina,
Natalie White,
dude. If Christina is the next Natalie White, honestly, I wouldn't be mad at that. Because if we spent a whole season being like, ugh, the season's predictable, we already know the Ulis are going to win, and Christina comes out on top, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, this is funny. This is This is what I call good programming from Survivor. Anywho, Juwan was the player who got voted out, and I have a lot of weird feelings about Juwan and about how I feel like he played this episode and
Okay.
also the game.
Yeah.
I thought that he was a very interesting player, and I thought he was a very important player in an archetype we need to see more of in Survivor. Bad game players. Bring them back. Juwan, I thought, was a player who had a lot of smart ideas on paper, but really struggled with the execution. And I think his biggest detriment was getting close with someone who also doesn't have the best societal sway. And he kind of got a little too powerful. And I don't even think he realized how powerful of a position he was in, which I think if he did, he would have played the game a little smoother and just wasn't as loosey-goosey with information. I don't know. How do you feel about Juwan and how he played the...
So what I have here on my notes from earlier in the season was there were a lot of opportunities that Juwan had to kind of culminate a new majority, but like there were so many people that Juwan wanted to work with and kind of shut the door on that. I don't feel Juwan, I'm not sure where he's at now that the show is kind of come to an end for him. Like he's on the jury and the game's ended, I know. But I don't know if now, present day Juwan, what does he think he would do differently? I think I would ask that. Because I feel like Juwan felt he was in a really dominant spot, but wasn't noticing all the other stuff that was going on behind the scenes. From my perspective, this is only my perspective, based on how the editing showed, I don't feel Juwan was in control of his own game. I think a lot of the moves Juwan thought he was making, he was kind of pushed by someone else, or at least that's what the editing wants us to believe. The one thing that I did like about, Juwan's stories, they showed a lot of really, really funny and also like really personal moments. Juwan had a lot of good screen time, I would say, like him, explaining himself at the reward was one that I really remembered. I know that there was a reward. He was just saying, he was talking about his life. And they went into a storyline where he was talking about, in his confessional, how he always had to be there for his family. And I thought that was like really important to his story. So I like that. I really like the montage that they had with him and Steven getting along really well. When they had that tribe swap, they showed that they were just being two dudes like out doing stuff. I don't know. I think he had a lot of great moments, and I think you're right. I'd like to see more of Juwan's archetype and just players who bring like this silly kind of unserious energy, but also have like really personal and deep background, make them such unique and intricate characters. So Juwan was definitely like one of those underrated players for me in terms of like who they are as a person and like how they want to be represented. I really did like that a lot about Juwan, and I think he's a wonderful movie.
What's up, Paula Fitzhenry as well? How are you doing? I think Juwan has the makings of like a really good Survivor player. I think even this season he had moments of brilliance.
Yeah,
I think he did get a little lucky that some things kind of ultimately broke his way. Whether or not Juwan would have went over Sage pre-merge on Uli is yet to be discussed. I don't think there's been a confirmation, because that's still the biggest question mark in my mind about the tribe dynamics back then. And he kind of got saved by the swap, I think. But at the same time, Survivor is luck-based anyways. And the relationship building that he had and his ability to just care for people makes, I think, just a really good Survivor player. And so I think with just a little more, refinery, I think Juwan could win. I think Juwan could win a season.
Can we play?
Really?
Can we play the crackpot?
The
Or-
crackpot?
I don't think. I honestly think if Juwan made it to the end, he'd be a 0 vote finalist.
On the second time?
I'd have to see his gameplay and what he learned.
I'm still
I
playing.
but I would love to see a game where Juwan is a little bit more of the aggressor in terms of like he needs to be pushing the names on. I'd love to see him call a shot and for it to work. Because every move that he was a part of, to me, he kind of felt a little bit like just a vote. Like a vote Sage, then we want to flip on these other people. Let's vote out, I don't know. He felt like a vote. Oh, let's vote on MC now, right?
I don't mean like this season. I just mean like if he ever came back in the future, knowing what he did wrong and having more of a control over his game because he was swayed.
I think on a second chance season, Juwan would have a good chance of surviving. On a second chance season, absolutely. I think they would see other people as bigger threats. I know how how season 50, like there's some like people who like talk about, oh, here's who I think has like the best chance of like surviving, or there's a lot of people who pick Tiffany as a winner pick. And I think because people kind of perceived her as like the least threatening of all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what people's criteria were, but like I also watched 46 and Tiffany is a strong player. So
yeah, no, she definitely is a strong player.
Yeah, no, Tiffany's I'm like, hello, does everyone not remember the fact that Tiffany was the one who was pretty much like being the mediator of the jury?
Yeah.
I think Tiffany was a strong factor in Kenzie winning and swaying over the jury. Strong factor, Tiffany for sure.
That and the look in Mackenzie's eyes, according to Maria, which is still a big boss move, by the way. Don't vote for your number one who helped control the game. Vote for your best friend you met on day 14.
You think Charlie goes back to back? He gets second place twice in his 2 seasons.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to for his sake, man.
His number one was the deciding vote. Imagine his number one was Q, and Q didn't vote for him.
Lowest threat level by placement. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that. That's actually a good fact. I didn't know that. Lowest level by placement. So that's another reason. Like that's like people would not bat an eye. I feel like they'd look at like Ozzy or someone else.
I just hope that like the big threats come together this season.
Rick Devens. I want to see Rick Devens finding 3-4 idols, maybe winning like 3 to 5 immunities. Let's not forget he had found like 3 idols, had 2 fake idols. He had 4 immunity wins. Like Rick Devens, like, this man was crazy. Rick Devens on my Mount Rushmore. What are you talking about? I don't need Tony. I don't need Sandra. No, actually, wait. I would put Tony and Sandra up there for sure. But
Rick Devens as well.
Rick Devens has to be. What are you doing?
Rick Devens in your Mount Rushmore of Survivor players is insane.
Watch.
That guy played once, got voted out twice.
He's going to get 3rd place. That's his floor. That's his floor. 3rd place.
I mean, then there's the debate of whether or not 4th place with win equity is better than 3rd place no win equity. But what do I know? No, but I love Juwan this season. He was endearing, and sometimes you just need an endearing guy who's a little awkward.
Oh, we have a season 50 winner pick.
I mean, I would agree.
I'm going to beg to differ. Even Sandra said it too. I saw a podcast where she talked about it, but the people you should be targeting on a returnee season are the people who just came from the season previous, because you don't know anything about their game. You know nothing. It's why Amanda Kimmel, Amanda Kimmel syndrome, Russell Hantz syndrome. We have people like that who they just get to the end the next game.
Again, yeah.
We get to the end again because nobody wants it. It happens. I feel like it happens more often than people think. And yeah, who knows? Savannah could pull it off again, but I think it should be considered threatening.
I don't know. I'm rooting for Colby and Emily Flippin. That's who I'm rooting for. Don't mind me.
Emily Flippin, what an icon. What an icon.
Not Colby Donaldson? You're telling me Colby Donaldson?
I've seen so much Colby. Like, there's only one Emily Flippin.
No.
Well,
But okay, if Colby comes back and wins, he'll have the greatest Survivor arc of all time. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm rooting
who
for.
would have the greatest Survivor arc of all time?
Yeah, if Colby comes back and wins for it.
If they came back and won?
Yeah.
Rick Devens?
No, not Rick Devens. Colby
What do you mean?
Donaldson.
No.
In terms of storyline,
they're gonna target Colby. I'm telling you, they're gonna target him.
they're not gonna target him because he's not gonna give a shit, dude. He's gonna be like, I'm ready for the challenge.
Yeah, he would if he didn't take Tina. Literally, if he didn't take Tina, Colby would have won.
Okay,
Colby
Colby goes from
Ozzy should
one-
win. Ozzy should win.
No.
Ozzy.
Colby goes from one vote away to win for season 2. Comes back, immediate giant target on his back. He goes toe to toe, still gets sniped. Comes back for HVV, was an embarrassment, but still was the last hero remaining. Had his final Hail Mary, didn't work out, didn't pan out, whatever. If he comes back and wins, it'll be the greatest rise and fall and rise again. The best Phoenix storyline in Survivor. You guys don't see the vision.
Who do you
Because
think
Colby's not an archetype.
Who do you think has a 0% chance of winning?
Angelina. That's easy. In Q and Coach.
You think Coach isn't gonna win the Dragon Slayer?
No. Actually, maybe Coach. Coach is wise.
I think my favorites that I would be looking out for would be Rick Devens, Q, and Stephanie. I think those would be my top 3. I'm like rooting for those 3.
I don't know if Stephanie can win.
Stephanie has a mouth, and I love that. Stephanie is so
having a mouth doesn't win Survivor.
What?
The biggest mouth doesn't win Survivor.
I know, but it's still entertainment. It's still fun. Q has the biggest mouth too. Rick Devens, all of them. I love players who come out and are so overconfident. I like it because it's like, oh, you want to see them lose or you want to see them win because it's like they're going hard. I love
a few players this season who are like that as well.
You want to talk about one of them?
I don't think this player is next. Actually, this player is next. A player who's playing hard, and whether or not you want them to win or lose is up for debate. But how is Sage last? Hold on. You have Christina above Sage?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, this was a bad episode. This was a horrific.
I don't think anybody's gonna vote out Christina. I think Christina has taken that Mitch spot for me from last year. They're kind of on the bottom, but they don't go. I think that's where we're at for Christina for the rest. I think people have already perceived Christina as not being a threat. She played an idol, but it's gone. It's flushed, and now Christina is back where Christina is. But Sage was literally on the bottom, was left out of that, lost her as pretty much number 1 in the game, and now Savannah knows that she flipped. I think Sage is going to be in a horrible spot next week. Horrible. I think Sage is going to have to win immunity, and I think Sage could win immunity, knowing that Sage could potentially be the next to go. But I can't put Sage higher right now. Jawan was all Sage had. Sage is nothing without Jawan. I mean, I could see Steven, Sage, and Christina all banding together now, but how's that going to compete with the others?
Yeah, it was rough, and looking at it through the Edgic side of things, when your whole episode is saying we need to vote Savannah, we need to vote Savannah, we need to vote Savannah.
And it didn't work.
and it didn't work. It's
Fake idol.
and Rizzo still has the idol, and Sophie still has the acknowledges power. Sage's ceiling is worse. Is a worse Carolyn placement in my opinion. Third placer and no votes with a worse overall game. I don't know. It's weird to say because I think Carolyn and Sage are playing the same game, but they're in different positions the entire time. Like Sage has been on the bottom and without a really strong alliance, just having Jawan and kind of ping-ponging between the Ulis and Hinas, lying to the Ulis, being really close with the Hinas in particular, and being close with Steven. Carolyn was more... She wasn't as fluid as Sage was, because she had the Tika 3 who just dominated 44. And so Carolyn's problem was that she was against Jam Jam, who was very, very articulate and just really good at explaining his game and kind of demolished that final tribal council. And Sage's problem is that now she's kind of without any sway in the game, and so she has the right ideas. I agree with taking out Savannah. It's just she can't make those moves happen. And I think Sophie S was mistreated by the players that should have had her vote, and they didn't realize that they had to really like suck up and treat her well, because it's a social game, to get Sophie to be with them, because Sophie flipped, which ruined the plan ultimately. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I still want to root for Sage. I still want to hope that she can win. I know she's not. I've ruled her out. She's been ruled out since day one.
She's in a tough spot. She's in a really tough spot. And this was a massive blunder. I mean, Sage would have probably been in a little bit of a higher spot. I'd probably put her at like a 6 or a 5 if, she didn't lose Jawan. I thought it was going to be Christina this episode. I really thought it was going to be a knowledge's power play. I bit into that. But I think that's an interesting way of putting it, the hot Grim Reaper. But for me, I think Sage put her eggs in the wrong basket, and needed to capitalize on people who had more social sway. I know Sage wants to go after the big threats, but I don't think she's hiding it very well, or at least she's being very open about it. And I think that's good for a Survivor player, to be open, to let people know where you stand. You don't really hide a lot. But, I mean, Sage is doing as much as she can. She sees a threat that obviously needs to be taken out, and Sage is trying to make a move on that. But they're not making the move. They're not doing anything, and they pretty much lost the numbers at this point.
Yeah. And there's still an idol and a knowledge's power on the other side. So even if they do find the idol, what are the odds it gets leaked anyways and Sophie just steals it anyways? Yeah. It's
pretty much over for anybody who's on the bottom.
And it sucks because Sage, I think, even knew that this was kind of her Hail Mary last resort. And it sucks having your last resort at final 8, Like that is bleak to think of and to look at. But I don't know. Maybe she can pull it out. Maybe she has a strong end game and is the fallen dragon of the season. Maybe she makes final 5 and is able to finally snipe Savannah. It's who's to say where Sage can lie, but I would not be surprised if next episode Sage gets the boot, or Steven. That's the only reason why I don't have Sage last, because there's still a chance that she doesn't get the boot next. And so she has more time, in theory. And Sage has bad aura, too weird. I don't blame you. Anyone who collects blackheads and keep them in jars and call their castmates blackheads that they keep in jars is a little strange to me. You know what I'm saying, Josh?
I know what you're saying.
Good. Anywho, we're moving along to Christina, who, if you're new here, my rankings are based off win equity. So who I think has a chance to make it to the final tribal council and to get the jury votes. I don't think Christina is doing both. I think there's a chance she makes it to the very end as a final tribal council list, and I don't think she gets any votes. Maybe she gets 1 or 2 for her friendship, but I don't know. I think people are too negative on Christina because they are seeing not a lot of gameplay from Christina throughout the season, and then now are seeing her moments where they're like, "Why? What is going on?" I think if we got the Christina cut from early on, we'd be more understanding about how Christina's been operating and where her headspace is at.
Yeah.
But the problem is that she was completely invisible for the first half of the season. The only thing we really heard was that she was tight with Shannon, who immediately got the boot, and that she's a loyal Hina foot soldier, and maybe a Jawan sympathy vote. That is the ceiling.
Juwan was
And it
very
sucks.
Juwan was very comforting to Christina, especially during her moment in there. I did notice that he made it a way to get out of his order in line to comfort her. I know I don't know. I think I could see sympathy votes, but in a game for $1 million, what is the jury going to be looking for at this game? I think Nate has really, with Nate being there first, it really sets the motion for those Uli members to have an advantage, because Nate would be able to explain their games and say, this is what they're doing. Hey, look out for this, So it's looking good for Savannah, Soph, and Rizzo for sure. That trio is looking pretty good for that final 3.
And plus, Nate was just a really likable guy. Anyways, he's very much he's very wise. Nate makes such a good first juror, in my opinion, because I guarantee he's able to comfort every single juror that comes on in, anyone who's emotional or upset. Nate is going to be there, and now that Jawan's also on jury, I don't think the jury will be bitter. I could be wrong. I don't know anything. They could be bitter to Uli. Who knows?
So I actually think this is actually Christina's idol play here was actually blundered by Steven. Steven should have never told anybody about the idol, because what could have been a successful idol play on Steven and inevitably leaving Rizzo to have to play his idol, if that was the situation that would have went down, the numbers would have been 4 on Steven. Christina plays the idol. Rizzo then needs to play it on Savannah, and bang, it would have been Rizzo going home. So keeping that information shut could have potentially put them in a very, very good spot. It could have put them in a really, really good spot. And I think it was a massive, massive blunder this episode. It was, it could this is why we keep idols secret. Nobody should know about an idol unless everybody knows that you have the idol. If you're not willing to be open about it, don't tell anybody. Ever.
I don't think telling Sage was wrong. I think Sage telling Sophie was dumb. I don't understand that at all. And I because Sage and Sophie, they weren't tight.
But
Sage was just trying to get Sophie on her side.
Why would he tell someone from another tribe? I know that she's been building trust, but like you tell somebody about an idol, they're gonna go run and tell everybody else. You never tell anybody. Never, ever, ever, ever tell anybody. I'm putting this.
Rizzo?
I'm sorry. I'm putting this one on Steven. I think
I don't blame you. No, I agree.
Christina found the idol with everybody else. Christina kept her mouth shut. It was not Steven's place to tell Sage about the idol, because that could have potentially put him in the numbers. It could have.
No, I agree.
And Jawan and Sage would have still been here. You would have got one of them out. You would have got Rizzo out, leaving Savannah and Soph. Then it's a fluid game. Now everything shifts, because not only do Steven, Christina, Sage, and Jawan have the numbers at 7, the idol is gone. They don't know about a knowledge's power. They think that there's another idol out there. That's fine. That only plays to Soph's game. That's still 2. It's a lot easier. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
crackpot.
No, I agree.
I'm putting it on Steven this week. That is a blunder. Christina should have had a successful idol play and could have put you in the position to win this week. But they just gave it to him. They gave it to him.
I think it's a problem on hindsight. I think if you're looking back now, obviously it's a dumb move. I think when we first talked about it, I was on board with the plan though, because I still think that like Steven doesn't have numbers. He doesn't. And an idol is only going to get him past the next round. And so I understand why Steven wants to solidify that he is good with Sage, because I also don't think he's that tight with Christina. I think they're only tight because they're the only Hina members left. And it's like, or besides Sophie, but like Sophie's an Uli now. Sophie's not really a tribe member. She's on her own. But Christina and Steven, they're like the true Hinas left. But like Steven does have doubts about Christina. He even said it last week where he's like, I don't know if I can trust Christina and I don't want to be bonded to her where I will take the fall over her. I need allies. And so it didn't work out. And yes, it was a blunder. And yes, we know that now. But I don't think it was that bad of a move in theory and on paper.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're judging me.
I'm not judging.
If it makes you feel better, we can now talk about Steven. we can. So about Steven, you have anything nice to say about the guy, or are you just gonna rag on him for an hour?
No, I wasn't trying to rag on him. I thought that giving the information the idol was crucial. That could have potentially put you in a good position. I think Steven's name is just starting to come out, and I think people are starting to recognize him as a social threat. Steven's pretty, well integrated with a lot of people. I mean, he may not have like an alliance that's protecting him, but I feel socially he's somebody who can talk. And he's somebody who, if he was in the final three, he can definitely win over some jury votes. So I see how people are looking at Steven in a threatening manner. I just see him going at 5 because, I mean, his time's going to come. But it depends. Is Steven going to be the next target, or is Sage going to be the next target? And that's really what I'm trying to juggle with.
Yeah. Something says that it's going to open with Steven being the target. And then something's going to change where it's going to be Sage. Because I have too much faith. I still think Steven has the makings of a really good Survivor player, because we've seen him able to connect effortlessly with a lot of people, especially his allies. We saw him connect with, Jawan and Alex earlier. And even like just the way he goes about talking with MC and Christine and the people in his alliance. Like, I think Steven has the makings. I think he's just on the losing side of history, and he's just trying to navigate his way. I think if he makes it to Final Tribal Council, especially not with Savannah, Sophie, or Rizzo, I think Steven wins. I think Steven has an argument against them. Not Sophie, but I think he has an argument against Savannah and Rizzo, especially with the jury and the jury makeup, because it's going to be a lot of Hinas and Sage and Jawan, who aren't a big Uli fan anyways. So I think Steven has all the win equity. It's just the path of getting there. It's like the inverse of Christina and how Christina is, where I feel like she has no win equity but can make it to the end easily. The fight from Sage was funny. I agree. Dina Lauren. And the third best based on the challenge type, also true. Steven needs his win. Can Steven win a challenge? Even though I'm pretty sure already has.
Yes, he did. He won last week.
I never watched the challenges. I'm not gonna lie. It's my problem.
You watched the strategy.
I watch the confessionals. that's what I use to gauge who wins. I think Sophie and Sophie are going to band together and coup d'etat Rizzo and Savannah. I hope so. And I hope they get Steven in the mix, because I want to see Steven on my screen more.
Coup d'etat.
Yeah?
Is this Savannah giving us spoilers? Letting us know what's going to happen?
I think so. That'd be really funny if Savannah was in the
Imagine if it was Savannah pretending to be Savannah.
yo, what's up, Zans? Just like giving us complete wrong information the entire time. Like, I think Christina's gonna find the idol and then play it, and then idol at Rizgod, even though it's never gonna happen.
Imagine.
It's Tetsuya.
Tatsuya.
I don't know what that means. I'm so ignorant. I realize how dumb I am, Josh.
I think that's their name.
But like Steven is kind of in a weird spot in my rankings because obviously he's not going to be in my top 3.
Yeah.
And I understand you have Sophie above. I don't blame you for that with how you rank things. I still think Sophie's pre-merge ruined any serious chance of her winning in my mind.
I hear you. I didn't list her as a winner though. I think I just think she's playing than the next person we're probably going to talk about because I think they blundered too.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think Sophie S.
Oh yeah, no, Sophie S didn't blunder.
Okay, good.
I'm talking about the other Sophie.
Really?
Yeah. We'll talk about the other Sophie when we get there.
I don't think it was a bad episode for Sophie. Maybe that's a me thing.
I think move wise, there was opportunity that she did not take advantage of. And I think that's what's gonna hurt her. I think today was the primal episode for why Sophie B will not win Survivor 49. I'll tell you.
Big words.
No, that's not crackpot.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
but
we're getting
big
down.
Words, fighting words, even. But this was a good episode for Sophie S. Sophie S is again like it's hard talking about Sophie because I just feel like nothing matters right now with Sophie. Yes, this was a good episode, and yes, she was in the prime position and pretty much started the Jawan blindside. Basically flip the whole vote, flip the narrative, flip the script. And like that's great. And I understand the thought process. Someone's getting misdirected. My fault. But no, it's just like I think back to pre-merge. I think back to the entire season where Sophie got no screen time whatsoever until the third swap. And so obviously she's not going to win. And so on the show about trying to figure out who the winner is, it's not looking good for Sophie S. And it sucks. But do you agree with her move on taking out Juwan? Because it's one of those things where I could see the other side.
I don't think it's a big move, but Sophie wanted to make a move just entirely. She had an opportunity, and I think that was her main goal, and she did. She got it. I think Sophie definitely let people know that Juwan was it, and I think this was her move. I do.
Well,
you want to rack up a move, that's fine. I would be more focused on taking out a bigger name than just trying to get a person out. But
yeah,
Sophie can't. I don't think she can afford it. I think she needs to play the numbers until she can make a move.
And she needs to hide her threat level too, because she's kind of again lost in no man's land with no cover, no protection, no nothing.
She's never done worse than second in any of these immunity challenges all season. She's never done worse than second.
Well, how is Sophie S? Like with how Sophie's been, there's a legitimate case that Sophie might be one of the best challenge performers of all time. Like this is kind of absurd. Juwan was a champion. I mean, is Sophie the new Ozzy? Comment down below.
But Sophie's been a beast this season.
She has. But is there anything else to like really say about Sophie? Because again, it's like I feel like the meat and potatoes are for the final three here. I got you.
No.
You want to read that
Sophie-
comment out
you know,
loud, Josh?
Yeah, I guess Sophie S is the one to beat. That's what it's looking like.
For Josh and MC,
I'm just
never
saying,
stood a
like,
chance.
MC is still the one to beat. MC was always the one to beat for me.
And then she
MC
got
was
beat.
yeah, the one to beat. Yes.
Like, if FC ever comes back, maybe she wins every challenge. Who knows? Who's to say?
It's possible. Yeah. I think that's
Open invitation. Can we get MC on the pod? Can that happen?
Rizzo.
What's up, Rizzo? You have Rizzo at second. I don't blame you. I have Rizzo at third. Because to me, he's still third. Interesting episode. Because Rizzo was a little cocky. You know? Just
That's
a
why I
little.
put him at second. I don't think he can. I don't think he's deserving right now of the winner spot because he keeps doing this thing. Like, okay, we get it. You have an idol. Do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I mean, he's doing something. He's getting what he wants every single time. But, like, something about the fake idol play, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of flashiness. So that's on me. But you know, I think this wasn't the best episode, but it was a good episode because obviously he was on the right side of history. I just think that it's a little too characterish. It's just a little too. It's a little too much. It's kind of like how Sage. People are saying Sage isn't going to win because they wouldn't edit a winner like Sage. I also think they wouldn't really edit a winner like Rizzo, unless it was like Tony Vlachos. You know, like I'm talking pure, like craziness the entire time. But we're not getting that from Rizzo. We're getting just good social reads and social maneuvering. And the Rizzo Master Splinter mustache is disturbing. Well, he's doing his best.
Winner mustache.
It's hard being 17 on an island and growing facial hair for the first time, okay? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I need Rizzo to make a move that's just with this idol. It feels like he's dragging it out and he's losing more opportunity to use that to his advantage. So I will. I can't put him in the winner spot right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point. Ali said he dangled his idol out. There's always leverage twice. It's not appropriate to dangle a third and beyond time. I agree. Because maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but you also kind of got to take into account the jury. It's like, yes, you're doing cool things and you're showing off that you're cool, but your cool things are also getting people voted out, and it's still a lot of frustration from a lot of players. Like Sage was crying at the end of the tribal, I don't think a player like Sage is going to find the idol danglings and the crazy, like, all right, class, let's play a fake idol and hide the real idol. I think Sage is not going to really care as much about that, about the flashiness. And so I'm a little worried about his jury chances. And actually, can I propose a crackpot theory?
Sure.
Rizzo's getting 0 votes at final tribal council.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
0 vote getter, Rizgod, RIZGOD. Do you see it? Is it just me? Because I think it's more sound than you would think. I think we're kind of getting a lot of the. I don't think he's being edited traditionally like a 0 vote finalist. That's why it's crackpot. But I think it would just make sense because I think Savannah is going to get the credit for a lot of the Rizzo gameplay. And I don't know. I don't think Rizzo does a fair shot at Final Tribal Council. That is mainly just gut and like confessionals where even this episode he really wanted Steven gone and not Juwan or Sage. Yeah. 'Cause I'm just saying this is the same show that said that Kenzie was winning Survivor 46 because she was comforting Ben, and people were like, "No, it's gonna be Charlie. Charlie's winning." Bam. Thanks, Ollie. But yeah, no. Do you have any other thoughts about Rizgod, about his chances?
I just think that he needs to make a move. He needs to make a move with that idol, and it's got to be big enough. That's going to shock people. But here's the problem: Rizzo has dangled the idol against the people that he should have been playing the idol against, and he didn't. And that's where I'm really struggling. So I need to see some more Rizgod doing some Rizgod things. But he's not being Rizgod. Rizgod is not being Rizgod.
I feel like I think holding on to the idol is one thing. I don't mind that because obviously if you're keeping an idol late into the game, that is no matter what protection for you. If Rizzo's able to get the final 6 with an idol and be able to play it on himself and just make it to final 5, then that is he deserves it, you know? It's the dangling that I'm worried about because I think that just doesn't give things. Holly saw the third dangle. Not a fan of the third dangle. But maybe too, I'm biased because Rizzo's cocky and on top, you know? And we're able to see just how helpless it is for the other side. And so I'm rooting for the other side. I'm rooting for the underdogs always. And so I'm hoping Steven can pull something out of a hat and eventually be able to win. What do I know? But you ready to go to Sophie B now?
I'm ready for that blunder.
4th is crazy. Crazy work.
Man.
I don't think this was a bad episode.
Why is Sophie the winner for you?
Because when it was Savannah and Sophie talking about potentially flipping the vote, Sophie got the confessional about it. About saying it makes sense to vote for Jawan or Sage, even though she still wanted Steven gone. And I still don't think it was a bad move. I don't think she blundered.
My blunder with her is she had the idea that there was an idol with Christina, and she just watched Christina flush that. Yeah. Take the idol, play it. I think she didn't attempt it. Like in the long run, if Sophie had that opportunity, I wish she would have. I think now she's like, I kind of wish I did, because not playing that knowledge is power is not going to earn you anything. You're not really doing anything. I was waiting for a Sophie move, and Sophie didn't do anything.
One guy said one. One guy said 4th. I'm usually correct in my assumptions.
So you think Sophie's gonna win this season? Watch.
Yes. Because I think Sophie's. I think the SPV. I think if she was the winner, and I think if she went to the tribal council, she did and had the storyline she did, I think this is how she would be edited. And becoming a threat from using the knowledge is power at Final 7 doesn't feel smart because she still removed an idol and she still knows that Rizzo has the idol regardless. I guarantee you. She gonna take. Yeah, Josh is right. Can give Soph. We'll give Sophie B. I can't spell or I can't say words.
Okay, well.
Okay. No, we're giving you a hard time, but I think everyone else has been talking positively about Sophie, and I think that there's been a lot of times where she will say something in the confessional and that will ring true. I still think her being like, I don't need anything this tribal. I just need to lay low, trust the process, trust my allies, and I'll be good. She didn't get a single confessional after, and her allies protected her, and they voted out Matt or Jason. It was
one of them. Take your pick.
It was definitely in one of those 2 episodes, and I remember it being like, that is a crazy thing to say. And then also, all information goes back to Sophie, right? The idol went back. And so I feel like the storylines are coming together.
I just feel like she's not really playing her game. She's playing Savannah's game. And
No.
What do you mean, no?
Just because you're working together and one player is getting more confessionals about something doesn't mean they're playing her game. I think Sophie needs Savannah in the game, because if Sophie flips, let's just say Sophie steals Rizzo's idol, takes out Savannah this episode, right? Juwan and Sage, they are going to vote out Sophie as soon as possible because Sophie doesn't have anyone else. She doesn't have allies. People now know that she's with Savannah and Rizzo and Zans. I just can't say words. Ballardy. I feel like that's wrong, and I feel like Sophie's going to laugh at me, and I feel like I'm about to get blacklisted from Survivor events.
Blacklist.
Her best chance is stealing the Rizzo's idol at Final 5 if she wants to make a killer move with less risk. I get it. I don't think she needs to make a move. I don't think players need to make moves to win Survivor. That's the camp I'm always from. I think there's something called the storyline, and if you are going to almost every single tribal council and you go from being on the bottom, losing every ally you've had, to then having to start from scratch and integrate yourself into an alliance, I think that deserves credit on its own. Because at a certain point too, if Sophie makes it to the final tribal council and says, I went through almost every single tribal council and I was still a threat throughout, I was still playing very under the radar and no one bothered to take me out, I think that reflects poorly on Savannah and Rizzo. The players who had power and controlled most of the votes so far.
Yeah, I still need to see this knowledge is power. That's what's really that's what's really I need to see. I think that's what gives Soph a little bit more of a win equity.
And she was the glitch. She brought in both Sophie S and Sage. I don't know about Sage. I mean, she brought in Sophie S, kind of. But Sage was never really with Uli like that. Because Sage was scorned from Savannah. And she benefits from having Alex on jury. And yeah. And even though Alex and Sophie weren't tight, I think they definitely bonded together. I don't know. I think Alex definitely votes Sophie. And I think a lot of Hina's vote Sophie. She bridged Sage. It's true. Sorry, I'm still on like Thanksgiving mode where it's overstimulating all the time. Just 30 people in one small house. But I don't know. I think fourth is a little harsh.
I need to see a move.
Because who do you have at third? Sophie?
Yes, I do have Sophie at third.
You have Sophie S above Sophie B?
She's winning. She's winning comps.
But I don't think Sophie S has win equity like that. I don't think people like her game.
Well, that's why I put her at third. Because I know she's going to get it.
But above Sophie? No.
Absolutely. I've not seen anything from Sophie's game. I need to see a little more.
This is crackpot. We're entering crackpot territory.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I can't put her higher.
I don't blame you. It's still just, I mean, I can actually, but still. And at least seemed like she bridged them because Sage aired all her complaints and Sophie B was meditating. Yeah, no. And Sophie's social game is also really powerful so far. I don't think people have really been picking up on that. Because again, she's able to integrate herself into a whole new alliance with people she did not know 9 days before. On top of losing everything. I don't know. I still stand by. I think Sophie S or Sophie B, the winner of Survivor 49. Speaking of the winners, I have your winner picked now. It's Savannah.
Yep.
Which can't blame you. Not gonna lie.
Jeez. I think what I really liked this week about Savannah was that she was so open and so blunt about those questions. She was catching Christina. Ooh, she caught Christina stumbling on her words.
Yeah.
I thought that was really suspicious. That was such a red flag. And I'm glad Savannah caught her by surprise.
Well, Savannah already knew Christina was against her anyways. So Savannah was just having fun.
That was good. That was good.
Also, Hot Graham Reaper makes a good point about Sophie. being last in school year picks is a sign of a bad player, which I could argue is just Sophie not being good at challenges, because I don't think Sophie is good at challenges. With love to Sophie. And if the challenges are always just going to be like food, then I don't know. Even though she did win the reward, the sanctuary this episode, where good things happen.
I do love good things.
We all love good things, Josh. But no one wants to be picked last. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's true.
I think Savannah, though, she's really running a case for her to win this game. I mean, very convincing, in a powerful alliance, and is making the right moves. That extra vote, I think it was necessary. And they had the numbers. So honestly, I think this is Savannah's game to lose here. Savannah is pretty much in control and got themselves off from being on the bottom fairly quickly.
Yeah, and despite like being on the bottom, the only thing I don't like is I don't like how she said she was on the bottom since day one on the merge. I don't like when players are running the game and trying to act like they're on the bottom. Savannah, outside of the Nate vote, you've gotten your way at every single tribal council. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, I'm on the bottom. I had such a hard path. No, you had your alliance. Just own it. You played good. You're playing good. You're playing really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? But it's Savannah's just the clear, like, it's the usual suspect of like clear winner pick. It's like it's kind of like how we had Kyle last season. Kyle was always going to be the number one or top spot.
Yeah.
Or even before, Rachel was always going to be not Rachel. Rachel wasn't really the top spot for a while. But like even going back, like how Charlie was always like around the top 3 area because he was always going to do really well. That's how Savannah is. We know Savannah's going to do well. Even if she gets voted out next episode, I think it's going to be the most monumental episode where we're going to be like, we're wrong, but damn. But also, I wouldn't be wrong because I'm not saying Savannah's winning. I'm just saying she has good win equity.
Savannah did say, easiest 1 million to make in her entire life.
I don't know about easy 1 mil. It is interesting to, like, when people are talking about the money. I think this is like the most people have really mentioned getting $1 million in a season. Usually it's few and far between. Do you think Juwan respected the take out actings she gave him? I don't know. Probably not fake out. Or not take out, but fake out. Probably. I think Juwan gets it. Easiest 1 mil. I don't know. I still think Savannah is going to get outplayed by Sophie. Because I still think Sophie has that killer instinct. And I think she's still playing hard. She just knows that right now, Final 7's not the time to come out. When you do, Sophie's going to be the biggest threat. The second Sophie comes back out of being under the radar, once she's on the radar, everyone's going to be gunning for her.
Wow. Well, I still think that Sophie is playing a little bit more of an under the radar game. But when it comes to Savannah's like pretty much in the limelight. I'm surprised that she hasn't been taken out yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the second Sophie breaks that, I think she even is above Savannah in terms of threat level.
Okay.
Threat management.
Oh, yeah, you clearly are favoring Sophie.
I'm just saying, I trust my odds. I'll take the risks.
Take the risks.
That said, Savannah's still playing a great game. Like,
I think
what
so.
are we doing? No disrespect. It's just we're arguing between Savannah and Sophie, I feel. Rizzo as well, but everyone else, I just don't see it. Not even Steven anymore. As sad as I am about Steven. Josh going full crackpot. I don't think saying Savannah's winning Survivor is full crackpot. That's half crackpot. Sophie being 4th is crackpot. But anyway.
I'm sorry that I had to put Sophie at 4th. I just need to see more gameplay. Like,
the gameplay is her not getting voted out, Josh.
I don't think it's enough though.
SMH. Shaking my head. But Josh, is there anything else to really like talk about with anyone? Because I feel like again, a lot of the things are going to be very cut and dry.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like it's one of those things we just have to agree to disagree on. There's not really a clear cut. Obviously, I'm very confident in Sophie and Savannah. Like those two, if I can combine them, 99% chance. 98 actually. Rizzo can have the number with the 1%. And Savannah had a scene with flames over her face. Maybe that means she loses fire. That's what happened with Carson. Because then she's on the jury now. Imagine she's with Rizzo, Sophie, and Christina as the final three.
Wow. That'll be a big final three.
Or not even. I think Sophie, and Rizzo could also make sense. Because if Sophie's winning a lot of challenges and no one's really caring, then that's a little scary. It's kind of like Joe. Or like all the dudes last season, how everyone was winning the same challenges and no one really cared.
I see.
And ripped 3 boys on the bench. Josh, you want to do a cover of 3 boys on the bench when we see each other next? You're okay? You don't want to start a boy band?
We don't have a third.
We'll get a third. We'll find a third.
We'll find one.
Sending applications. If you want to be the third in the Will Josh boy band, sign up in the description. You got the guitar?
Oh, Sifu. Sifu can be their third.
Sifu will be the third. That makes I'm on board for this actually. Ollie's the third. We'll get a whole flash mob going. Does that make sense? Can we do that instead?
We could.
Anywho, I think that might be it for us though. I know this is a short episode. We're kind of coming down to the end of the season, and so this was kind of a weird episode where a lot of the gameplay that we saw in the first half didn't really matter because Sophie S wanted to cause trouble. But we'll see you all next week, 1 p.m. And Josh, happy late Thanksgiving, dog.
Happy
Peace,
Thanksgiving.
peace.